So that was all the DVDs. That was all the DVDs. Need to calm down, being too loud. Hello and welcome to Pink Paradox Reads. I'm Lisa, also known as Pink Paradox, and in this video I'll show you what I got in my most recent massive horror movie haul. Now, I absolutely love adding to my horror movie collection. It is growing behind me, and I think actually I spend more time buying movies and adding movies to my watch list than I actually do watching them. So I really need to get down and watch some of these horror movies. I will divide my haul into two parts because I have 21 movies to show you. I'll show you the DVDs in this part, and then I'll show you the Blu-rays in the next one. All these movies came from pt.I, which is a online and retail chain here in Norway, very similar to HMV in the UK. We had one of their stores here in Bergen up until very recently. They had to close, and I really hate that because that was one of my favorite stores. I loved going in there, looking at movies and books, and whenever I pass by, I just get really sad. Most of these movies I have not seen before, but I'll tell you a little bit about each one. First up, we have Audition, and this is one of those movies that I've been meaning to watch for a very long time. It is a stone cold classic in the horror community, and it is directed by Takashi Miike, and it is about a guy who is, I think, recently widowed, and he sets up an audition to find a new sweetheart. And he finds this one woman that he's really into, that seems really nice and sweet, but is she everything she seems to be? This is, like I said, one of those movies that everyone talks about, so I guess unfortunately I kind of already know what happens, but I don't think that is going to take away from my enjoyment of this one. Next up, we have a title that's really hard to pronounce when you're Norwegian. It's Deathgasm. I always had a bit of a problem with the word death. And this is a horror comedy from New Zealand, and they have, of course, a great track record when it comes to horror comedies. We have the early works of Peter Jackson, and in more recent times, we have What We Do in the Shadows. And this one is about a bunch of metalheads, outcasts, who form their own metal band, and they come across some demonic sheet music. And when they play this music, they invoke demons who possess their friends and family, and it all, of course, goes to hell. It sounds like a lot of fun. Here we have one that's not necessarily a horror movie, but it scared a lot of kids when it came out, and it scared me a little bit when I watched it, even though I didn't see this first when I was a kid. I think I was a teenager when I got it on VHS. This is the Black Cauldron, or Taran and the Black Cauldron, as it's known here in Norway. I had this as a sort of graphic novel adaptation when I was a kid, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the Horn King. I thought he was badass. I loved Gurgi, who was a bit of a Gollum ripoff, but I thought he was really great. And I recently learned that this is actually based on a series of fantasy books for children that are based on Welsh mythology, and now I really want to check them out. And I, of course, want to revisit this one. Here we have Poltergeist III. This is my second favorite in the Poltergeist series, the first one being, of course, the original. And this is not a great horror movie by any means, but I have a soft spot for it, and this is almost like comfort horror for me, like comfort viewing. I think it's because when I watched it, I was really into Twin Peaks. Lara Flynn Boyle is in this, of course, and there's the whole thing with like creepy, scary mirrors that I really like. So yeah, not the greatest horror movie, but a fun watch. Here we have an indie release with a great title. I myself am a cleaning lady, and this is about a woman named Alice who is having a bit of a miserable time. She's in a relationship with a married man, and she's not doing too great, and she confides in her new cleaning lady, Shelley, and they become fast friends. But like the chick from Audition, Shelley may not be all she claims to be. This one got rave reviews from Bloodbath and Beyond, which is a horror YouTube channel that I really trust when it comes to reviews, so I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. Another one I've heard great things about is Tragedy Girls, and this is another horror comedy about two best friends who run a true crime website called Tragedy Girls. When the news for their website start to dry up, they start to kind of create their own content. Yeah, something like that. This one seems like a lot of fun. One of the few titles that I've already watched in this haul is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, and this is the first movie in the Halloween franchise where there is no Michael Myers and no Laurie Strode. I think this one was supposed to be part one of a Halloween themed anthology, but that never happened. This is a awesome watch for Halloween season. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend you do. It is full of Halloween atmosphere and Halloween tropes, and the story centers around 3 really creepy masks. Last of the DVDs is Mohawk, and this is a movie which I'm not really sure if this is like a true horror movie, but I am intrigued by it. This is about a young female Mohawk who, when a bunch of members of her tribe set fire to a military camp, has to fight back using, according to the cover, natural and supernatural means. This one is actually written by one of my favorite contemporary horror authors, Grady Hendrix, so I'm really excited to see what this one is like. So those were all the DVDs in my haul. Next up, I'll be showing you the Blu-rays in part 2. Have you seen any of these movies? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy horror movie hauls, unboxings, and bookish videos, please stick around and subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Is that even a word? Why am I moving around so much?